Today I'm going to show you the best way to complete the Mount Charcoal journal entry inside of Roblox Dig.
So how this is going to work is I'm going to give you a recommended loadout for each rarity. For junk rarity, you should be using the magnet shovel. For your charms, you should be using the imp horns, the ice picks, and the cauldron hat. For the common rarity, you should be using the solstice shovel with the basic magnet, and the charms are going to be the same thing. For the unusual rarity, you can use the same thing, but myself, I use the starfire shovel. You can use the green magnets, and then the same 3 charms. For the scarce rarity, you're going to use the starfire shovel, the fortuned magnet, and for the charms, you're going to use the cauldron hat, the imp horns, and the solstice bell. For legendary, the starfire shovel, the legendary magnet is recommended, and the same 3 charms as the last. For mythics, use the starfire shovel, then you can use the magic magnet, and then for charms, use the same as the last 2. For divines, it's going to be the starfire shovel mixed with the crimson steel magnet, and also the same last 3 charms. Prismatic is also going to be the starfire shovel mixed with the same 3 charms. Now that the loadouts are out of the way, we're going to be using those loadouts for each of those rarities, and now let's go ahead and get into the best locations for every single item.
This is going to be one of the easier journal entries to complete because of the fact that there's no abundances for it, so everything can just be dug up mainly from one spot. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with the common items because there is no junk items for this area. We have the chili pepper, molten rock, chain, volcano spike, and the obsidian. All of these items can be found literally anywhere, so I would just recommend digging at the top next to the molten boss and just dig in this open space here. Moving on to the unusual items, the hot sauce, lava bucket, fire flower, anvil. All of these I'd recommend also digging in the open area. And then the sulfur, since it is technically a mineral, I would just recommend digging on one of the little mountains or rocks here. Moving on to the scarce items, the lava worm and magma crystal. Both of these items super easy to get. I'd recommend digging for the lava worm at the open area and the magma crystal also the open area or even on one of the rocky areas. Moving on to the legendary items, this is going to be the hardest item to get out of this area, the cave painting uproar. At least this one took me the longest personally. I got everything before this. So where I personally got this was off the edge here. It recommends you to basically be digging on like rocks and things. However, I could not pull it up here, so I just jumped down here and I actually pulled it like literally right here. Next, we have the phoenix feather. This is going to be the easier legendary. You can get it literally anywhere in the open area. Moving on to the divine items, only one for this area. It's also going to be pretty hard. It's a 55k. However, I got this really quickly, so obviously it is luck based, but I got this before any of the legendaries. I personally got it on top of this rock here. However, you can also get it on the open flat area. And finally, we have the 2 boss items. These are, if you don't know how to get them, go to the bosses tab. You have to kill the molten monstrosity. This boss does not spawn in naturally. You do have to use a blue moon totem to spawn it in. So you can see here it is a 100% chance to get the molten alloys and then a 20% chance to get the molten monstrosity boss itself, which is a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to spend quite a bit of money to farm these. However, if you are struggling and just don't have enough money or a group of people to farm these with, I will be hosting some of these on my YouTube channel during live streams where we're going to be all farming this boss together. So I'd recommend subscribing with notifications on so you don't miss those. Or alternatively, you could join the Discord. It's linked in the description down below, and you can group up with some people there that are farming the same thing. And that will complete the Mount Charcoal journal entry for you, which if you followed all these guides in order is going to complete your full journal. So congratulations. You now have the domino crown. But if you need to check out the other journal entry guides, the playlist is in the top right of the screen now, so make sure to check it out, or also linked in the description. Anyways, if you are new around here, make sure to drop a sub to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any future dig content. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.